Well, good morning.
Good morning.
From Red Cliffs Campground, we made a short drive from home into the Red Cliffs National Conservation Area. It's also a recreation area, kind of right in our backyard, and a great place to mountain bike and hike and camp. We haven't camped here yet, but this campground is a wonderful little resource and a good spot for our goal today, which is to do a kind of a walkthrough of the Suboverland. Long time
Finally.
overdue. Yeah, exactly.
Nag, nag,
It's
nag.
because we've been using it a lot, and but we're excited to show you kind of some of the things that we've done to make it more comfortable and more functional for us. Um, so let's do it. Okay, so not a lot different on the exterior from stock. If you're not familiar with Suboverland, it's an upfitter in Twin Falls, Idaho, that specializes in converting Suburbans and Yukons and Escalades and really any vehicle to become a camping vehicle. This is a 2005 GMC Yukon XL. Has about 165,000 miles on it. So one of the things that's different versus stock that we opted, basically an option from Suboverland, is doing LED headlights and LED fog lights, which is, I'm really glad we did that because I'm not sure what the 2005 headlights would have looked like, but these are plenty bright. Again, Suboverland adds shocks and coils in the back and does about a 2-inch lift and puts 10-ply off-road tires on it, just to improve the capability. Bug control. We have these two exterior netting bug shields from a company called Skeeter, and they go on with magnets hold in place. So you roll down the windows as much as you want, slap these on the outside, and then you get the ventilation, the cross ventilation, and
That condensation buildup.
right, helps reduce condensation. Even if you only open them a crack, it makes a big difference. And this is just an easy, low cost, low fuss, no muss way to
Doesn't take up any room.
yep, easy and compact to store. So highly recommend those. And you can get them for the back window as well. These aren't custom to the vehicle, they're just a generic size, but you, on their website, you enter your vehicle year and model, and then they'll give you the size that will cover it. So we haven't done any super warm weather camping to where we would want the back open. Not to say that that day won't come, but so far this has been adequate for our camping. Suboverland includes two rear window curtains. These just kind of tuck in. Those work well, and you know, you can use these with or without the Skeeter beaters on the outside. You know, so once you have this in place, you can kind of fold down the top a little bit if you want extra ventilation. So those are kind of nice, and again, they do provide a measurable amount of insulation when it's cooler. Basically, there's a drawer system as well as a side cubby system, and that's the gist of the storage modifications that Suboverland does. So we have two drawers for us. We basically divide the drawers into kind of kitchen. We have our stove in here as well as some tubs, and I'll put links in the description for everything that I've purchased. We like these tubs because we can take them in and out and put them over on a picnic table. Keeps things organized, keeps things cleaner, and these drawers are plenty long, so we're able to fit 3 tubs in there as well as our stove. And this side is kind of more utility. You can see I haven't used all the space, but here we have our tools, our equipment, which includes a shovel, a battery charger or battery starter, air compressor for the tires, some miscellaneous stuff, a hose for the shower, some leveling blocks, just miscellaneous things that kind of are more utility oriented, more vehicle oriented. If you're familiar with Suboverland, which most of you probably are, that's why you're watching this, you know that they include 2 of these tabletops, for lack of a better term, that go on top of the pullouts. And then you can use this for cooking, for cleaning, food prep, whatever, if you don't have access to a picnic table. And then on the other side, you can use them to extend and create the longer bed platform or sleeping platform. Okay, one of the mods that I've done that's a little bit different. This is the platform that I just showed you out in the back that you can use for cooking and food prep. And then for sleeping, you extend the drawer forward, and then this platform extends to, to fit the mattress, so the mattress isn't hanging over, so to speak. But looking at this, I'm like, this is a lot of space that it's kind of wasted. And especially sleeping at night, if this is all the way out here with the battery stored here, especially the lithium solar battery, it's almost impossible to move around. So what I did was I basically created a shorter version. And so I basically measured it and made it fit so that it is long enough to support the mattress, but no longer. And then the thought with these is that you can also use them as a stand for the shower and or for our portable toilet. So it's kind of like dual purpose. But even if I didn't use them outside and only use them to extend the bed, that's made a huge difference in terms of our mobility inside. You can see all the platforms, the two solid platforms and these two cedar slat platforms all stored on the utility side.
This is basically our bedroom area, and we did purchase an additional cover for the padding for the 4-inch mattress, which is super comfortable. I mean, every night we sleep on it, it's a good night's sleep. So it's just added some extra protection for anything that might get spilt on it, and acts kind of as a protector. And our bottom sheet. Bought ourselves a big thick comforter for the colder outings that we do, and then we have one for the springtime and summer that's a little more lightweight. Then we have cubbies on both sides. This one, we'll start with this one, kind of temporarily has a little bungee cord system that keeps our window coverings out of the way when we're either driving to our destination, and even during the day when we're using this area. It just prevents them from getting creased or folded inadvertently. And then we've kind of kept our storage items in the cubbies down to a minimum, just things that we would need, like quick access to during the night if we put our headlamps in there for trips down to the restroom, eyewear. But we really haven't kind of junked them up with anything. When we camp, we kind of go with the mind of being a minimalist, so not a bunch of change of clothing, just exactly what we need. That's what we bring with us.
We're known for overpacking. Let's be honest.
But yeah, I'm not kind of big into decorating it up. I like it really clean and unencumbered. So yeah, I know other people have cha-cha'd up their interiors, but my intent is to keep it just really minimalist.
Yeah, and the wood's really nice, right? Yeah, and the ceiling, exactly. The slat walls,
whatever. Copper accent for the drape for the front area, privacy area.
Exactly.
But comfy, roomy. I mean, we're average-sized people, and it's just always a good nap area and a good overnight sleeping area.
Right. If you're not familiar with Suboverland, again, they have a max air fan there that you can use for ventilation and obviously, and for keeping things cooler. So that's kind of a nice touch. And then there's LED lights, or an LED light, which is super bright. We almost never use it, other than trying to find things, because it's very bright. Okay, one of the things, one of the early challenges we had was keeping the rear blackout curtain. You want to hold that up so people can see. And again, if you're familiar with Suboverland, then you'll know what we're talking about here is this piece that is used to cover the back window. And what we found was that the magnets that come with it, I couldn't get them to hold. And so it would just continually flop down. So what I did is I found these clips somewhere online, and I'll find them and link them in the description, that I used SUGRU on, which is a moldable adhesive clay, to mount these clips, with the idea being that we would slot the edges of this into those clips. I'll show you what that looks like. The original idea was that these would act as a channel, but actually in practice, I just pushed the shade behind these, and it holds it in place nicely. You can see it's even defying gravity. That no way would that have worked with the way it came
Just the
from this.
magnets.
Yeah. The other thing that Diana did to help was we cut and then she re-sewed this cut up. It was flat when it came here, and that only added to our consternation. Even if you're somewhere where you don't care about like privacy part of this, these shades do provide insulation and make a noticeable difference if you're camping anywhere cool.
Well, we're a bad combination. We're early risers and we're coffee drinkers. So sometimes, because we do get up early, it's chilly to step outside certain times of the year. So we bought this little mini Mr. Coffee maker and get it all set up the night before with the water and the coffee filter and the coffee already preset. So once we are awake and ready for that first cup of coffee, we just press that button and we can stay all nice and warm inside here and enjoy a cup or two and watch the morning happen on our camping area. And it's really just been a little treasure. We didn't think we'd appreciate it as much as we ended up loving it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it just makes for a cozy wake up in the morning to have our coffee, boom, moments away from us, and we're nice and cozy inside here.
Just the smell is wonderful, right? This is a silicone mat, because this is sitting on the lithium batteries, you can see. So this is a silicone mat that I found again somewhere. I'll put a link to that. And then in case there's spills or whatever, it just makes me feel a little bit better about that. But this obviously plugs right into the battery, and this coffee maker gets terrible reviews online. I mean, I looked and looked. I spent one morning like 2 hours looking for portable coffee makers, and I'm like, it's $20, $30.
And
Worst case,
we would also have our coffee mugs positioned right alongside there, so no trips outside the Suboverland. We're all self-contained inside
That's
to have our
right.
cup of coffee.
We're serious about our coffee. When you buy a Suboverland, it comes with the battery and with the refrigerator, and this is the spot where the refrigerator typically is. And that's great for driving. It acts as an armrest. You can put your phone or a little speaker on it. And it also really keeps this area open. At other times, we've actually set the refrigerator over here for easier access once we're in camp. So it's nice to have that flexibility. And I guess theoretically, you could take this whole assembly, these two pieces out and put them out somewhere, because the main job of this is to power that. So as long as you could keep it plugged into the solar panel on the roof, you could move this around. Which is kind of nice. This, when we bought this, we did have Grady from Suboverland keep a third seat here in the back, which comes in and out. We've actually never had anyone sit in it so far.
No, not yet.
But it's very easy to take in and out, and I could see, needing that with one of the kids come along, or if we're doing mountain bike riding and need to do shuttles, we can get a third person in here. This is our Mr. Buddy heater, and we figured out a way to hang it, as you can see. These are some cheapo carabiner thingies. And then, because the first time we did this, we realized that the heat radiating up here was making the roof panels pretty dang hot. Also, this copper tubing got quite warm. In fact, it's already a little warm. So this is an experiment where I've got this adhesive heat shield and put some on the ceiling and then put some on the copper above it. The idea being that will help reflect that heat back towards us. This, works really well.
It does.
And so typically,
much like the coffee maker, we got no complaints.
Exactly. And so we have used, when we use it, typically it's in the morning to warm up the air in here a little bit, and or at night when we go to, when we just get into bed and let it run for a few minutes, just for comfort's sake. So
very effective.
Very effective, and also great to have outside. If you're somewhere where you can't have fires or you don't want to bother with the fire, it's nice to have a little extra heat. Yeah, so we've got a lot of enjoyment out of this. And this is on the low setting, and it's, you can feel it. Mm-hmm. And so you can see hopefully how Diana, in the morning when we're having our coffee, we'll kind of push our mattress back a little bit.
These are our little lounge chairs.
And then we can just kind of lounge. You can put your feet up a little bit and then enjoy your coffee. And I can do that by leaning back and have kind of headspace. Don't have to crouch over. So yeah. The seat covers here while we're sitting here enjoying this warmth, these are from Okole, I think it's called, Okole. They're expensive and they have quite a long lead time, probably especially lately with the state of things. But
they're custom to the interior.
Custom to the interior, extremely comfortable, thick padding, very durable. I've had them on another vehicle, and you know, they're worth the extra money because they
fit the way they're supposed to fit on these seats.
Right, and they wear like iron. They're just great. So this, if you're not familiar with Suboverland, this railing here is meant to hang the privacy curtains. Which we generally probably don't do that much because of where we're camping. We usually just rely on the sunshade up front. So, but it is nice to have, and it does offer privacy and also just a slight measure of insulation.
Yeah.
So
we also picked up these mats in the pet department, right?
At Target.
They're actually for cat litter collection. You'd put your litter box on top of these, and anything the cat trots away on their paws, it would drop into these little honeycomb catch.
Right, you can see it's actually, passed through.
So we usually position one outside our main exit and entry into the Suboverland while we're camping, so it prevents coming inside. And then we also keep one inside just as a backup. And it just keeps the rest of the space inside here rock-free, pebble-free.
Little cleaner.
Yeah, a little cleaner.
And you can hose them off.
But yeah, and they were like $10.
Yeah.
And we're just repurposed them, not for litter, but for keeping our interior clean.
A couple other minor things. I just recently mounted a cargo net under here. This is kind of wasted space, generally speaking, so I just put that there, and you can tuck miscellaneous things in there. This is a tool roll with some tools. And then here is our fire extinguisher. And then on the other side, we have the CO2 monitor. Here's the switch that turns the light on. I mentioned that light is super bright. It's nice to have. These Okole seat covers have a couple options. The one we opted for, excuse the pun, is a front pocket. So that's kind of nice for maps, a mask, a rag, the kind of stuff that you need, you know, on road trips, generally speaking, which we've done a few road trips in this truck. The other thing is when Suboverland does these conversions, they take the center console out typically, and they put in this plywood block to, you know, cover up the wiring and everything that's in there. Well, I struggled again with like trying to figure out a way to be able to use cup holders, particularly again when you're doing 8-9 hour road trips. So I found these cup holders on Amazon, and was able to fit 3. So they'll hold a coffee cup, they'll hold a fountain drink cup, and they're nice and sturdy and just cheap and effective. And I did end up doing, this is a little bit kind of maybe anal, but I ended up using some SUGRU to create little pads here to quiet down the rattling, which, I don't know, maybe that's a little crazy, but it was also kind of fun. And then the dash cover is Covercraft. Again, a little pricier maybe than a cheapo cover or a dash cover, but nice and long lasting and durable. Another nice thing about Suboverland is they include 4 WeatherTech mats, so top quality mats made in USA. So you know those are going to last. Well, I think that covers about everything. And
long overdue, but
yeah, it took us a while to I don't know, get this staged and get the truck cleaned. Of course, as soon as I washed the truck, it rained, which is good, no complaints. But we're really loving the vehicle. We also have a small cargo trailer that we're working on, so that'll be a subject of a future video. And again, do my best to provide links to all of these things in the description below. And if you have any questions, comments, or feel free to ask them, and I'll definitely check them out and respond. So thank you for watching.
Yep.
And we'll see you next time. These are our glamour shots. Yeah, if you're into camping, this Red Cliffs area is just stunningly beautiful. And wonderful mountain bike trails, hiking trails. I think you can reserve these camp spots on reserveamerica.com. So just driving through this morning, it's a Wednesday morning, and I'd say about half of the camp spots are full. So come visit. We'd love to have you.